Welcome fellow YouTubers and welcome back to another Storm Drone 6 episode. If you're new to my channel, please like and subscribe to see more Storm Drone 6 and FPV footage. Today I'm going to do the big unveiling. I've modded my Storm Drone 6, added a few things, and I'm about to take it on a test flight. Okay, let's get started. First thing I've done is I've added LEDs, front and back LEDs, because I found a bit difficult orientation. Being that the Storm Drone 6 is all black carbon fibre, it could actually disappear from view quite quickly and easily. So I thought the added benefit of orientation lighting would help me keep track of it while it's in the sky. The other thing I've done is I've added some Tarot foam landing gear pads and some plungers to stop anything getting into the carbon fibre tubing. And what's layering on the legs? This is a aluminium T-joint fixture. I've decided that to get rid of the original, this is the original. Being that it's all plastic, and I was always afraid that if I came in too hot and landed too hard they were going to crack, and I think it was probably a wise decision to make these a bit sturdier and stronger. Aluminium's probably the best way to go. It's only slightly, maybe a couple of grams heavier than the plastic ones, so you're not really adding a lot of extra weight to carry. I think they look pretty good. The only thing I am disappointed is that the actual Allen key screws that came with it are actually quite weak and they tend to strip quite easily. So I've taken off the original ones that came with the plastic ones, and these, funnily enough, are really strong and sturdy and good quality. So thanks HeliPower for thinking about giving us some good quality parts with our Storm Drone 6. Okay, let's move on. What else I've done here? You all know I have a PRM module for the radio link transmitter, which basically gives you a readout on your transmitter right here and tells you what the battery level is. I'm about to do an experiment on all my accessories, because I've wired it so all my accessories are all wired together. So just makes it easier if I want to add a battery and just run all my accessories on a battery. So we're going to be doing a test next up, so stay tuned and we'll just see how much power all these accessories use. That also includes the Tarot 2D gimbal. That also runs as an accessory. I mean, people say that the Tarot 2D gimbal uses next to no power. Well, we're going to soon find out if that's actually true. What's this blue thing in front of my GoPro? That doesn't look like a traditional Tarot 2D, excuse the French, gimbal clamp. No, it's not. This here, I got a plan for it off Things Universe, which is a site that actually has 3D printable devices, and I found this guy uploaded, and I think it's pretty much a perfect design for the Tarot 2D gimbal. It's not loose in any way, it feels very secure. You can shake this thing all you like, it ain't coming off, and it's really easy to add on. It actually clips onto the back. As you can see, it doesn't look like it's clipping very well, but trust me, it's clipping really well. And in order for this thing to release, every one of these clips has to be released exactly at the same time for this thing to actually come off. So even if you were to break one of these arms, this thing's still not going to come off if you break one of the arms. Because I can lift this and it's still not moving. Okay, and it actually clicks into place really strongly and really tightly. As you can see, I can pull this all I like, it ain't coming off. You can still film in wide angle lens, so it's not going to affect your camera footage whatsoever. You still cannot see this visor when it's in wide angle lens, and it also acts as a sunshade, so the glare from the sun doesn't hit your lens and give you all that funky distortion that you get in some FPV videos. So I'm going to give that a try out, and you'll see the footage after this little after a commercial break. Any rundown on anything else? Oh, well, you probably want to see the lights in action. So let me just put down the camera. Okay, steady, steady, steady. And we'll turn on all the accessories. Okay. Okay, lights are on. Camera's all on. Okay, now I can't get any satellite here, so you're going to see this annoying red blinking. Don't worry, it's nothing. It just says it can't get any satellites. And as you can see, these lights are bright. I reckon they look great. Let's have a look at the front. There's green at the back and red at the front. Now a lot of people say, why don't you put the red at the back and the green at the front? Well, frankly, I think the green at the back is probably better because it has the LED light for the NASA MV2. When it's blinking red, it's really easy to see that it's blinking red, but when it's blinking green, the green blends into all this, and you want to be able to check your battery level off, you know, because it blinks red when the battery's low. Well, if you're looking at the rear of this thing and you see a red light, it's really going to stand out. Now, if I were to put this on the back, put the red on the back, and this thing was blinking red, it would just blend in with all the red lights from a distance, wouldn't it? So it makes better sense to the stuff that you really want to pay attention to. You want it to be a different color than the rear of your vehicle. Okay, I've moved the transmitter, the video transmitter up here, and I've attached an extension bar and this. I wanted this away from the battery. I found that having it under here, like you've seen it heaps of times where I've had it under here, every time I was putting this battery thing, I'd knock the bloody antenna, or I'd knock the bloody transmitter module off. It was just getting really annoying and painful to change the battery. So that's why I put it up here. And why on this side? Well, because I've had to add a whole heap of other wiring, as you can see it's poking out a bit here. I was trying to balance out the weight on the hexacopter because of all this wiring here and attachments. This has added weight on this side, so you want to keep it balanced. So that's why I put the transmitter on this side and on this part of the wing. Okay, just sort of keep it a bit more balanced, because I still think the wiring probably weighs more than a transmitter. By putting the antenna here, just adds a little bit more weight just to balance it out. The battery I'm going to be using to do the test is one of these batteries, because I have a spare. It's a 1000 milliamp hour battery. It weighs about 110 grams, so that'd be an extra weight of 110 grams on the hexacopter. So it'll be easy to tell when we do the little test. I'm going to come back and I'm going to put it on one of these, you know, the battery level testers that we all have that cost you $1 on eBay. And it'll actually tell me exactly how much power in voltage that all my accessories, that means the gimbal, the transmitter, the lights, the LED lights, and what else runs off it? Oh yeah, and the PRM module for the battery level for here. As you can see the battery's reading now. This one here, let me just focus the camera a bit so you can see it. Okay, RX, that's my transmitter here. Okay, so my transmitter is using 5.3 watts of power. Okay, that's the voltage of the transmitter, but it's actually telling what this transmitter thing here is actually reading, what it's using. Okay, and this one here is the external, which means the battery on the hexacopter, and it's reading this. But when I separate, because the module runs on the accessories, when I plug in the other battery, and I'm going to mount on this side, and you'll see it in next very shortly, runs the PRM module. So it'll actually be reading the battery here, the 1000 milliamp one, and not the actual hexacopter battery. But I'm not worried because the NASA actually reads that anyway. Okay, and you can see my on-screen display. I haven't turned off the monitoring, the on-screen display of the GoPro, so that's why it's a bit overlapping there. You can actually see the GoPro display coming through the transmitter. But I always turn that off when I go out for a fly, so it doesn't mess up my OSD Mini, DJI OSD Mini I have installed just in here. Probably a really good investment for those new to FPV. It helps you keep track of your hexacopter and all its telemetry and GPS and where it is and if it's going up or down, as you can see, up or down. Okay, next up, the actual test video and flight. Okay, we're out in the field again. Probably recognise this from my last video. Okay, we're going to try a second battery test. Okay, basically I've got one of these batteries on the back of my hexacopter, Storm Drone 6. I've tried to balance it out a bit just to try to keep it at least balanced any way I can. I've got all my accessories on. The accessories are a permanent fixture. It's really basically just to help me with orientation. I can monitor the second battery on my transmitter through the PRM mod that I installed. It'll appear, don't know if you can see that, but I'll show you later. It can appear here. And okay, let's get this baby kicked over and started. Hello again, I'm back from my field test just to show whether you're using a second battery on your Storm Drone hexacopter for the accessories only. That's the GoPro gimbal, the video transmitter, the PRM mod, that's on the other side, the PRM mod which sends the battery level to the transmitter. And just to see whether all those accessories actually use up much power and whether it's viable to carry a second battery just to run your accessories. So let's have a look at the results. This is the battery I used to run all my accessories. I mounted it on the side here with some Velcro tape and I connected it to the accessories port or the balance plug on the Storm Drone hexacopter. So let's check out the results. Okay, let's have a look at these results. Okay, it's reading that the battery level is good. Oh, that's pretty surprising. When I charged this battery, it registered 12.4 volts total. Now this is just the flight test on this battery here. This is the battery I used to run the hexacopter only. Okay, it's a 3S 11.1 volt or 3 cell battery at 5,500 milliamps. It has a maximum of 40 Cs, so it's pretty high output battery. I want to use one that was the biggest battery I had just to get a better result. So if you're running a smaller battery than this, then you know it doesn't really matter. Okay, so this is the battery that we're really looking at. Just see how many volts it used. Okay, 12.4. It's registering now at 12.1 volts. So running all my accessories on one battery, it only used 0.3 of a volt. So that's pretty incredible. So is it viable to run a second battery for your accessories? Okay, I got a flight time of about 10 minutes and 36 seconds on this battery, considering this is a really big battery. The reason why I only got very little flight time was because this thing here weighs an extra 120 grams. So this battery here was having to lift this battery. Okay, and I lost 4 minutes worth of flight time. I usually average about 14 minutes flight time running this battery and also running the accessories off it and the hexacopter. Is it viable? No, it's not. You're better off just running a single battery rather than having this battery having to also carry the weight of this battery and burn up your flight time. So my advice is just running one battery to use all those accessories is fine. You'll get more flight time and you won't have to worry about having a second battery charged on your hexacopter. Really, there is no benefit from running another battery for these sort of accessories. Again, the accessories I ran on it were the Turret 2D gimbal, carrying the GoPro camera, GoPro 4 Silver, that's the latest. The transmitter, and the PRM mod for the radio link transmitter, just there. So I run all my accessories off the balance plug, just to keep them all separate from the main power of the battery that which runs the hexacopter. Okay, so that's the results. Hope you like this little battery test. I won't be running a second battery anymore because I'd rather have more flight time than having a battery that uses 0.3 of a volt to run all my accessories for one battery. Really, it doesn't make any sense to carry that extra weight only to use up 4 minutes of your flight time. Okay, so don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to keep seeing more of these videos. Just helps me out knowing that the people are watching, because these videos do take a lot of time to make. So again, like and subscribe, leave any comments you want. One other thing before I go, all my accessories, that if you want to buy them, I'll leave links to the pages in which I purchase them from. So if you want to buy them for your own storm drone or whatever drone that you have, just remember these. If you're going to buy this, the measurements are quite important for your landing gear. Okay, so the link will be for this shoe here. This T-joint fits the Storm Drone 6, and these landing gear pads fit the Storm Drone 6 perfectly. Okay, thank you very much. We'll see you next time for some more FPV info and flight footage.